gave you that Egyptian rubbish. That was Esau, the so-called white man. He gave you Egyptology because he knows if he could give our people that, he could keep them from the scriptures.
None of those people in
right?
that book exist.
And it says,
anthropologists, they went to
but
the
they may add sin to
Jesus,
sin.
No,
okay,
Isaiah,
well guess what? Ra don't exist. Amun-Ra don't exist. It's all fables.
No, man,
it's all fables. But you believe in that rubbish, right? You believe in that rubbish. You're going to come back as a crocodile. Our people are bugged out. That walked down to go into Egypt. So he's walking down to go into Egypt. So Egypt's going to be what is confusion. Right? Ah, rubbish. Right? And Selassie ain't the saviour as well. Right? He was an East Indian. Right? That walked down to go into Egypt, because I've not walked. Alright, bro, and I've not walked down to go into Egypt. And I've asked up my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and trust in the shadow of Egypt. So our people, they trust in the shadow of Egypt. Right? So that's going to be confusion. That's going to be destruction. Right? The shadow of Egypt. That's going to be confusion. Our people, that's why the 2/3 have to go. The bigger people have to go. Bye-bye. And it says, and I've not asked out my mouth to strengthen themselves, right, in the strength of Pharaoh, right? He doesn't know what he believes. Right? Lost. That's why you got to count a blessing, right? You brothers that are in the know, you got to count a blessing, right? If that individual, he was ignorant, talk about some Egyptology, is in you. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why, that's the philosophy of Satan. And really, he was just trying to throw me off. And that's been happening a lot lately. Okay? See, them demons, excuse me. Them demons are getting turned up. That's why you need to have what, within this truth, you need to have a foundation of what you believe. Settled into this truth. Because that man that came up, he didn't have a foundation. Right? That's why he was all over the place. Right? Smoking too much herbs. Okay? And strengthening himself in the strength of Pharaoh. So what he was doing, he was strengthening himself in the strength of Pharaoh. In the strength of what? Esau. And Esau is the modern day Pharaoh. Check the time. Right? He has no foundation. Let's see if them Egyptian gods save him and all hell breaks loose. We'll see. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. Okay, and then trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. Right? So Egypt's going to be what? His confusion. And his shame. Since he wants to trust in it. Right? Oh man. And it's spiritual. It's prior to him coming out. What was I speaking about? Them idols. Right? So yeah, that's what's going to be your shame. Them idols are going to be your shame. Let them idols save you. But they're not going to. Nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. And you know what? You try to be reasonable. You try to be reasonable, but then after some time you just got to let people know if you're talking rubbish, you're talking rubbish. This is Psalms, right? This is Psalms 96 and 3. Declare his glory among the heathen. So we declare Yahawashi, his glory amongst the heathen, amongst the other nations. Right? We're not declaring the idols of the other nations. We're not declaring their idols. We're declaring Yahawashi. right? And his wonders among the people. That's what we're supposed to be doing. For the Lord Yahawashi is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared. That's who we fear. Above all gods, idols. For all the gods of the nations are idols. So all these gods, so-called gods of the nations, are idols, right? They're not going to save you. But the Lord Yahawashi made the heavens, right? Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary, in his temple. Give unto the Lord, O ye kindreds of the people. Give unto the Lord Yahawashi glory and strength. And the nations, they're going to be what? Tributaries and bringing everything what? To that sanctuary. All the kindreds. Right? Give unto the Lord Yahawashi glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come unto his courts. Right? Like the modern day offering today to Esau would be what? Tax. Okay. So today what? We got to pay taxes to who? Our oppressor. Right? But in our kingdom, they're going to bring us offering. Right? Let's go to Revelations 5. Revelations 5 and wrong one. Hold on a minute. Go to Revelation 5. Make sure this don't blow. This is Revelation 5. Where is it? I'm looking for where it says kindreds. All kindreds. No, it's not there. Okay. Page is missing. You know what? Let's go to Revelations 7. Alright, let's go to Revelations instead of Revelation 5. And yes. And 10. Start at 9. And they sung a new song. Right? Saying that are worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. Who was worthy? Yahawashi. To open the understanding of these scriptures unto us. Right? And to open the seals thereof, because it was sealed, shut, closed, stamped. For I was slain, so Yahawashi being slain, and has redeemed us to our power by the blood, right? Out of every kindred. Every kindred. So when it says redeemed out of the blood out of every kindred, these are Israelites, because you have Israelites that are what scattered within the other nations. Right? That's what it means, out of every kindred. So you have a people today, they're scattered amongst Elam, right? You have a people in Australia, people in the UK, right? You got a people in South Africa, you got a people in Philippines. So that's why it says out of every kindred. That's why people will be getting called out of every single kindred, right? Amongst the nations, right? And tongue and people and nation, and has made unto us our power, kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth, right? So we're going to be reigning with Yahawashi upon the earth, and that's all through what Yahawashi's sacrifice, that we are able to reign with him. Okay? And really, that's what you should want, right? Go back to Psalms 147. Let's go Psalms 149 and 5. You know what? Start at the top. Praise the Lord Yahawashi. Sing unto Lord Yahawashi. A new song. See, there goes that new song again. Alright? And his praise in the congregation of the saints. Right? And who were the saints? So-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Indianos. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Right? So we're supposed to be rejoicing in Yahawashi that made us. Right? Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Right? Yahawashi. Right? Let them praise his name in the dance. Right? And bro, we're gonna be this is gonna be complete joy, complete dancing. Right? In the kingdom. Right? Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. In other words, he takes delight in his people. He will beautify the meek. Right? With salvation. And that's why it's always important to be meek. And you see, that's going to beautify us. Right? And part of that's going to be what? That salvation. And it says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Right? So we're supposed to be joyful. We're going to be joyful in glory. And we're going to sing aloud upon our beds. Right? Let the high praise of the Most High be in their mouths. So we're going to be praising Yahawashi continually. Right? And a two-edged sword. So the key thing it says, two-edged sword. Right? And that two-edged sword ain't going to be for battering no bread. Right? In their hand. To execute vengeance upon the heathen, these other nations. These nations that don't what? Take heed to what we're saying. Right? And to bind their kings with chains. So the kings, yes, they're going to be bound with chains. Right? If they don't take heed to this word. Right? They're going to be bound up. Right? Leg. Right? Hands. Right? And in nobles with fetters of iron. So yes, even in nobles. With fetters of iron, chains on their hands and their legs. To execute upon them the judgment written. Listen, have all the saints, praise ye the Lord. Yahawashi, so this judgment, yes, it's been written, right, for the elite. But before this happens, there's going to be a particular way it goes down, because the elite, they're going to survive through what? That nuclear destruction, right? They're going to survive through that. Bear me just a minute. Revelation 16. I think it's 16 or 6. Hold on just a minute. Let's try Revelation 6 instead. This is Revelation 6, and you know, I can't find it right now. We're going to have to go to Isaiah instead. Right? Go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah. You know what? This is fitted anyway. Isaiah 2 and 7. Their land is also full of silver and gold. Right? And a lot of this silver and gold, what is it used for? Worshipping. Right? Full of silver and gold. Right? Neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is full of horses. Neither is there any end of their chariots. Right? Their land is also full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands. Right? That which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth down and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. Right? Enter into the rock and hiding in the dust. So the elites, they're going to be hiding. So they're going to make it through that destruction. They have to, so they could be reserved. Excuse me. So they could be reserved for what? For slavery. Right? And it says, excuse me just a minute. For the fear of the Lord, for the fear of Yahawashi, for the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down. So all that loftiness, that's going to be humbled. It's going to be brought down low. And the Lord Yahawashi alone shall be exalted in that day. So Yahawashi is going to be exalted. Right? For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and everyone that is lifted up, he shall be brought low. Right? All the high-mindedness, the pride, right? Thinking you don't have to answer to no one. No. And all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and the oaks of Bashan, all the high mountains, right? And upon the hills that are lifted up, and upon the high towers, and upon the high fence wall, right? And I'm looking at these fence walls right now, right? These high fence walls. Yahawashi is going to throw down, right? And upon the ships of Tarshish, Spain, and upon the pleasant pitches, right? Your framed galleries, right? The workings of the society, your carvings, your construction work, your crafts, all that's going to be what? Put down, right? Because Yahawashi is going to shake it. And the haughty of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. So the idols shall he utterly abolish. The idols are going to be done away with. They're going to be utterly abolished. You abolish something, you're ruining it, you're levering it. Right? The idols shall be utterly abolished. And it says they shall go into the holes of the rocks. What's that? These houses, these buildings, more so these underground bases. They are the holes of the rocks. These underground bases. Right? And into the caves of the earth for the fear of the Lord. And yeah, east of the elites, they have underground cities. Yes. Not millions, billions have they invested in these underground cities. Right? Some of them are in Europe. A lot of them are in America. Right? Because they know something's going to happen. Right? So they're building these underground cities, underground tunnels, which only a few know about. Within them, only the initiated within them know about these particular underground tunnels. And yes, they have water, they have all those things in there, television, everything. And they also have what? The underground systems. A lot of these underground systems are being designed also for what? Martial law, to bring some of you in by martial law. So all these things are happening as we're speaking. And the Lord Yahawashi, the glory of his majesty, various minutes, and which they have made, and they shall cast away the idols, right, which they have made, right, in that day, for each for himself to worship to the moles and to the bats, right, to go into the clefts, into the top of the ragged rocks, for the fear of the Lord Yahawashi, and for the glory of his majesty. Right? So they're going to be fearing Yahawashi and the angels. Right? When he arrives to shakably, terribly, the earth. So that's what Yahweh's come to do. Shake the earth. Terribly. Right? When Yahawashi comes, it's going to be what? A terrible shaking upon this earth. Cease ye from man whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of? In other words, don't put your trust in man, right? Put your trust in Yahweh, Yahawashi, right? And it says, for behold, the Lord of powers of hosts doth take away from Jerusalem, from Judah, the staff, the whole stay of bread, the whole stay of water, right? The mighty man and the man of war, the judge. This going into something else, and the prophets and the prudent and the ancient, right? That's going into something else. But things are going to change drastically, right? Things are going to change drastically, right? Sooner than you think. And it's all happening now. You're seeing these prophecies play out every single day. We're seeing things happening. And what does that do? It only boosts our faith, right? And it should. You see these things happening, this should boost your faith and bring you more closer to Yahawashi. So we're going to go to Baruch. Babakashah. This Baruch, chapter 4, and give me some minute. 18. For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. So we realize, yes, these plagues, these calamities that are brought upon us, right? Yahawashi is going to remove that. As it mentioned, what, Deuteronomy 30:7, right? These curses shall come upon what? Your enemies, right? You just have to be patient and endure, right? Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am desolate. This is referring to our land when we removed it of our land, due to us going off, right? I put on the clothing of peace. I put on the sackcloth of my prayer. Right? And this is sackcloth. This ain't no fancy garments. This is sackcloth of mourning. Right? I will cry unto the everlasting. So you got people dropping things and all sorts. Hear me just a minute. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. And what we're doing now, we're crying unto Yahawashi. Be of good cheer. So we got to be of good cheer. Be of a good mind. Right, towards Yahawashi. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord Yahawashi, and he shall deliver you from the power of the hand of your enemies. Right? So you just got to what? Continue to cry unto Yahawashi. Right? And he's going to what? Deliver us from this captivity. For my hope is in the everlasting, Yahawashi. Right? But he will save you, and joy is come unto you from the Holy One, Yahawashi. The everlasting is Yahweh, right? And the Holy One is Yahawashi, Salaki. And joy has come unto me from the Holy One, Yahawashi, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. So we just gotta what? Wait and be patient for that deliverance. And we know Yahawashi is coming. Unlike that individual that came up earlier, he just don't have no faith. Okay, this truth is about faith. Because of course we can't see it. But the people, what do they want? They want tangibles. They want something right in front of them. They want, because they're carnal. Right? A wicked generation seeketh after a sign, but so no sign shall be given to thee. But what? The sign of what? The prophet Jonah, that was swallowed up by for that fish. Yeah, I'm fine. You? Are you? Are you alright? I said I'm fine. I said, yeah. I said, are you alright? Good, right. Yeah. The Bible.
Yeah.
12 tribes of Israel. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Indianos. Those that were in the transatlantic slave trade. And also those that were scattered. Because you have our people that were scattered even in Africa as well. Even amongst them, the Ethiopian. Even amongst them Ethiopians. Kush. Ethiopia are Kushites. And you got our people, some amongst them. aroma.
My tribe is from Solomon.
No. Well, that depends.
I'm from
If you're an Israelite, then your tribe is from Solomon.
Judaism myself.
Well, no, that's falasha. Them Ethiopians in Israel, they're falasha. They're false, right? I see you are a good one. You tried it, right? No, they're false, right? They were put in that land. They're falasha Jews from the line of Solomon. Well, if you're an Israelite, you are. But no. Those that were put in, right? Them Habisha, put up in the land of Israel. They were put there in the time of what the Assyrians. But that's another topic. Excuse me. Right? Where was we? Baruch, chapter 4. And let's go straight to 23. But I said, right? You out with mourning and weeping, right? But the Most I will give you unto me again with joy and gladness forever. So we were sent out with mourning and weeping our land, but Yahawashi were being reconciled. That's why we call this the ministry of reconciliation, right? So we were taken out of our land and mourning, but now we're going to be put back in our land with what? Joy, right? But the Most I will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever, right? Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen our captivity. They're seeing it today, right? All these other nations, they're seeing our captivity, right? And that's spiritual, because you had 2 buses, a full packed bus. So they're looking at our captivity to now, they're gazing. You do know you have tourists that go just to New York, yes, strictly go to New York and UK just to take bus tours, just so they can look at the state that the children of Israel are in. This happens. You have those that just do bus tours just to look at the condition our people are in. The scripture says we would be a reproach among the nations. Right? Excuse me. A little bit more, shut up. And it says, my children suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. For thy enemy have persecuted you, but shortly shall thou see his destruction. Shortly. We just have to continue to be what? Patient. Right? I shall tread upon his neck. Go and tread upon our enemy's neck. We just have to be what? Remain patient. And it says we're going to see our destruction upon our enemies. How? Go to Psalms. Psalm 91 and 8. Only with thy eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So the elect are going to see it with their own eyes. Right? But it's about what? Enduring. You want to see these things, you got to endure. You want to be justified, you got to endure. You want salvation, you got to endure. My delicate ones have gone through rough ways. That was what? A part of our captivity. And were taken away as a flock bought of the enemies in terms of our captivity. Right? Be of good comfort. So we're supposed to be of good comfort. Right? Oh, my children. Okay? And cry unto the Most High. So continue to cry unto Yahawashi. Right? Continue to cry unto Yahawashi. And this is what? A supplication. Right? And cry unto the Most High. And it says, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these what? Things upon you. So the elect, they're remembered, they're not forgotten about. The elect are not forgotten about. He ain't just going to leave you out there. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing for him. Cry unto Yahawashi. Right? And it says, For as it was your mind to go astray. So we went astray when we were back in the world, when we were going off. Right? From the Most High, so being returned, seeking 10 times. So you got to seek him 10 times more. You got to seek him as much. 10 times is double. So you seek Yahawashi double. Right? For he that brought these plagues upon you, the chastisement, shall bring you again with everlasting joy, again with salvation. So you may get angry at your son. Right? You may get angry at your son. Right? You may say, I don't want to see you. You know, get away, get out until you fix yourself up. And as soon as you're fixed up, guess what? Your father what receives you. And the scriptures talk about I can't say it right. The prodigal son that was welcomed back. Right? So yeah, it's the same with this truth. Okay. The Lord will welcome you back, especially if you're repentant. Right? He will receive you as what? A son. And it says, for he that brought these plagues upon you shall bring you again with everlasting, again with joy and salvation. Right? Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for they that gave thee that name will comfort thee. You see, that comfort's coming. That comfort is here already, which is what the words. Right? Because if you have Yahawashi, you have that comfort. If you don't have Yahawashi, you don't have that comfort. Right? And it says, miserable are they that afflicted thee these other nations and rejoice at thy fall. So they're going to be miserable. Okay. Miserable are the cities which our children served in what? These different states. Whether it was North Carolina, whether it was New York, whether it was Philadelphia. We had to serve what? Captivity. We were bond men, bond women. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of a great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. Right? So the great multitude is going to be taken away. Through what? World War III. Right? The great rejoicing of her multitude. Right? And it says, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure. And she shall be inhabited of devils for a long time. Speaking about America. It's going to be a dwelling place of what? Spirits. For a long time. Right? And she should be inhabited of devils for a great time, a long time. Right? America's going to be an uninhabitable landmass. O Jerusalem, look about thee. Toward the east is where our salvation is going to be. Right? Actually, this is the east where the sun is. Alright. And it says, to the west by the word of the Holy Famous. I'm moving too fast. I'll just look about thee towards the east. The east is where our salvation is going to come from. Right? And behold, the joy that cometh from thee, from the Most High. Right? A part is that joy, huge part of that joy is salvation. Right? Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west. It says, who thou sent away to what? Into captivity. By the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of our power. So all of our people eventually, they're going to be what? Rejoicing in the Holy One. And who's the Holy One? Yahawashi. Right? We're going to be serving him in what? Entirety. Right? And you know what? I think I just may shut off. That's been quite a bit. So what we're going to keep doing is serving Yahawashi in truth and sincerity and striving for perfection. Until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect, and I hope you were edified. Shalom.